What's up, Bucs fans? We are here today again at Bucs Report, the aftermath. I am AJ Turnup. This is just another, another aftermath. Sorry, Bucs fans, we're not in the final dance again for the Super Bowl, but we can still talk about it. I hope everybody had a good weekend. To me, it's kind of awkward having two jerk fan teams in the Super Bowl. You have the annoying Chiefs fans that just overhype everything. Then you also have the asshole of the Eagles fans, which we all are not surprised about that. Uh, both games really just had a very unusual outcome, in my opinion. Just seems like I don't know. It just didn't feel right, but whatever. Both teams won. The Eagles, and of course they talk a lot of shit, but Bucks fans, one thing that we can always pride ourselves on is that we shut down their stadium. The vet belongs to the Bucks. Say that with me. The vet belongs to the Bucks. The greatest moment in Bucks history was seeing number 20 march down on a pick six and destroying their little dreams because they really thought it was their year, not realizing McNabb was their quarterback, so they never were really going to go anywhere regardless. That makes me feel good every day at night when the Eagles talk their trash. It's like, okay, you guys just started being pretty good. Okay. That's why in this Super Bowl, I really don't care who wins. Now, if I had to say who would I rather win, I'd rather be the Chiefs, I guess, but not far off because I can't stand Kelsey. He gets on my nerves. To me, Slick has already said it. He's just a slower slot receiver, just big as hell. He's not a Kittles or none of these well-rounded tight ends. So I'm so sick of people trying to say he's the GOAT of tight ends when Shannon Sharp and Gronkowski are still out there. Like their records don't matter. So that's just how I feel about it. Um, the Chiefs, dude. Let's just be real, folks out here. I mean, Mahomes is getting on my nerves too. He's just a big ass flopper because at the end, yeah, did what's the face have to touch him? Not really, but I don't think that call was called. That was an egregious call. There was no need to make that call, all because Mahomes flopped. I ain't like that. How you throw your body back when you're already on the ground? Give me a break. But we're here to talk about Bucks. I know we're here to talk about. If anybody didn't realize, the cap just came out, and let me give you a little bit of information about that. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna just tell you what happened this today. So apparently, let's see the cap has been knocked in NFL. The cap has increased from 208.2 million to 224.8 million this season. The Bucks, at first we were 55.7 million behind the cap. So if you knock that off, we'll be about 37 million behind the cap. We have a lot of free agents out there this season. If Brady does return, that means the cap won't be as hit as much. But we have a lot of decisions we have to make. The most important one at this point is what the hell is Brady gonna do? We're really waiting on his decision because his decision does dictate how we draft. Now, I told you guys, regardless, and left tackle is the priority. That is the number one priority that Tampa Bay needs at this point, no matter who's at the quarterback position next season, because we need protection and we have the receiving core to be competitors. See, that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. with Jensen coming back fully healthy, with Stay healthy, this line can be a legit threat. I like Leverett. I think he'll do a decent job. And then, Wirfs is going to be Wirfs. So let's say if we get a hell of a first round left tackle, um, I don't know if we can get Peters from Georgia or the guy from Nebraska or the other guy at Georgia. Uh, I don't know. I personally like SEC or SEC tackles this season, especially on the line. You know, very tough and nitty and gritty. But we definitely need a well balanced left tackle. If it were up to me, I want a pass protection left tackle. Because that's the quarterback's blind side. I think that's what needs to happen. Second round, we need someone to complement Vita Vea. So we definitely need someone a strong and another tackle, no defensive tackle in the second. Um, if we can't get that in the second and we can possibly get that in the third, because we definitely the two biggest things we need on defense is another edge rusher and someone in the trenches to complement Vita. That's very important. Now, if we can get someone in the second round that we just can't turn our back on, that is a hell of an edge rusher. Cool. You can always find, I would say, someone to complement and help Vita in the third round. But yes, the three things that I think we need that's a major priority for the Bucs is a left tackle, uh, a defensive tackle to complement Vita, and a pass rusher. Whichever. So I would say left tackle, pass rusher, and then someone that can help Vita in the trenches. And then later on down the line, because I know people are still uncertain about Jamel Dean and SMB, you can get a really with the way this defense, if Bowles is smart, we are a physical defense secondary. So get someone maybe in the fourth or fifth round that they're built on playing physical football and not get someone that we don't really need unless they have super speed. Unless they have speed to where we can play cushion coverage and they can recover, that is when we get a corner that's built like that. But most of all, this defense is built on being physical and playing man, jamming the receivers so we can get our pass rush. So that is what's important. That is what's key. That's just how I feel about the situation with the Bucs right now. And we are going to be at a crossroads of where, let's say, if Brady doesn't come back, what do we do with other people? Because let's be real, let's be clear, Buck fans. We know if Brady comes back, we got to go all out to win it this year, and we have to be special because we know we're going to face this cap hell later on down the line. Anyway, I'd rather us have a historical season and get something out of it. So I hold Brady just as responsible. He comes back with the right coordinator. We get a left tackle like we need to in the first round. There is no excuse that this team can't be a 14-win team. We have to be. That's the only way that I will accept Brady coming back. He would have to be all the way in. He'd have to be willing to take the hits. He'd have to be willing to adjust. And we know the most important thing that we want is an inventive and creative uh, OC. So I like Monken. I really hope that Monken gets this job. If Monken doesn't get it, we need to think outside the box and go somewhere else new with someone that is not within the coaching circle, because a lot of times that's why you get the same results when these coaches go somewhere else, because they don't really think outside the box and they wonder why something's not working, because you're not utilizing. First of all, a lot of times you're not even getting the right players to match your scheme, and you're just going by what you think is right instead of really compromising with the players so you guys can both be on the same page and develop something where it benefits both. So we need new fresh ideas. We need somebody. I told you the two most important things a coach for me can make this team special is accountability and belief. You have to have both. We need it, and we still have the talent to be competitive. Um, if Brady doesn't come back, I wouldn't mind. I know I was dead against this, but Baker wouldn't be out of the question. If we could get Derek Carr, I wouldn't mind. Uh, Derek Carr would be, I think if he's hungry, like because of the way that the Raiders treated him, it might light a fire on him. We might get someone that that has like a Drew Brees mindset, that was angry on how he was done in San Diego, the Chargers, and then he went to the Saints and he just became an elite quarterback for years. So that would be something that I think we would have to look at, because if Brady doesn't come back, I think Leonard Fournette, we should save some money with him. Um, that's another thing. I just thought about that. Brady comes back, there are going to be players that are going to have to take pay cuts, and one of them would be Levante. I would love to have Levante back, but if that means we got to think about the long run too, the long term. Hey, no disrespect, but we can't pay you a lot of money to where it's going to hurt us way down the line, because we still have to sign Wirfs and Winfield. Those are our two big priorities way later on down the line. Devin, Devin to me would have to have like a all pro Fred Warner with slash Micah Parsons type of season to get like the money that I think that he would want. He would probably want to be worth 100 million, but right now, and I like Devin. Everybody knows how I've always talked about Devin. Devin White for me wouldn't get no more than 75 million. Maybe give him 40 guaranteed. Take it or leave it, because that's still good money, especially in Florida. He'd keep at least. Guys can help me with that. I'm not. He could keep at least 65% of it. So that's where I am right now with the Buccaneers. We still have a ways to go. But at the same time, it just falls on what Brady is going to do. And I just want him to make a decision real quick, because I'll just talk about Brady and what I would want him to do. You come back. I need you to be all in, Brady. I mean, of course, you have your personal family time, but you come back. There should be a point right now where you guys are still mentally like I would call a big ass meeting, and especially with the offensive side of the team, you get your Mike Evans, your Chris Godwins, get K Dot and get the line in there. You guys sit somewhere and have a conversation on what needs to be done, what needs to be improved on, and work something out. That is something that I need to see from Brady. That means I need to see, because we have to. No more taking personal time off if it's not necessary. We need the 2020 and 2021 Brady back. But that also ties along to what offensive coordinator we get. We need a coordinator that can adjust. I need a coordinator to say, oh, okay, this is what Evans is good at. Brady, let's put this into into motion. This is what Evans is good at. This is what Godwin is good at. And sometimes, Brady, you might not like this type of play, but it's necessary. Let's get Evans more involved. I know you're more of a conservative, don't want to risk turning the ball over, but you have Mike Evans for a reason. He has the physical abilities to get up there and catch those jump balls and those 50-50s. Let's do that, because if we get him more involved faster and he's becoming effective, that means our other receiving core is going to get open. So this offense has really got to do some soul searching within their players and truly understand which receivers are good at what they do best. If a Scotty Miller is a deep threat, then use him like that. If he's good to be a safe blanket for Brady in the undercrossing route, or just a small curl route, or an out route, use that. Utilize their skills. I don't know what Russell Gage. He comes back. Need to be healthy. We still have so much we can do with this, with all our offensive weapons. With the line being healthy again, maybe we can fix the run. But I still believe that we still would need to set the pass should set the run up first, unless our line is just do a complete 180 overnight and become better blockers. But I don't know. That's just not how I feel about it right now. I'm more of, let's use what we got to match our strength. So that's how I feel about the Bucs offense, because if you guys go to my page, it's about Buck and Tom on YouTube. Over the past year of the season, I expressed what the Bucks should do on offense, especially even with the beat up line. Um, we need, run a little more spread, get more chipping going with the running backs, uh, under routes, certain crossing routes. If you see that you find the weakest link on the opposing team, make the entire team overthink where they have to go. Okay, well, we need to help him out, so then we can take advantage and give other people open. We didn't really do that this year, especially with Byron being the coordinator. He was just way too predictable. And I told you the most important thing is accountability and belief. I didn't get that energy from Byron. I kind of felt that Byron was just in over his head. He didn't know what to do. So not knowing what to do and not wanting to possibly piss off Brady a lot, uh, he never really set the tone. And again, he never adjusted. He didn't take advantages of things. We all know I, I I've been knew this even with Winston here, but the game against Pittsburgh, that's the primary example of when you didn't take advantage of the passing game and you played right into the hands of the opposing team. The pass rusher's not there. Their corners, they had third, fourth, fifth string corners that just came off the street, and the first thing you decide to do is just try to run. It, that wasn't very smart. It wasn't smart, and we didn't. Our line was still injured, so I just didn't understand that. I didn't get that. So this is why I'm really hopeful that the Glazers really pay attention. We said this during our last episode, but if I am the Glazers and I'm interviewing, I need to I'm going to give an interview and give examples of what they should have done and what's the problem so my team can understand. And I'm gonna bring you in. We got a very special guest that we're gonna bring on right now. This guy is a former Bucks player, so it's always good to talk to Bucks players, get that great insight. And he played in the league, so he's far more. He has far more experience, and he has his own podcast. But I'll let him explain all that. But we're gonna bring in our special guest, James Cannida. What's up?
Hey man, AJ, what's happening, dude? How you been, man?
Been better. I'm getting better, man. That I'm not gonna lie, man. That Cowboy debacle still upsets me. I'm just thank God I wasn't at the stadium. I think you would have saw me on the news because I can you imagine, man. Look, I'd have given anything to be at on the side where I could see the players and coaches because Byron would have got an earful from me. So would have Bowles. I'd have been like, look, if y'all need some assistance, I can do it for free 99.
Man, as much as it made me mad at the same time,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a whole lot different. If
Yeah.
you just look at our season in a whole, what it came down to, we I want to say almost we overachieved and underperformed a lot. You know what I mean? So going into that playoff game, and as much as it pains me to say it, especially since my co-host on my show is a big Dallas Cowboys fan, the better team won that night. You know what I'm saying? And just they probably played the best game they played all season long, and they saved it for going on the road to get that road playoff win.
Yeah.
And with the injuries and not a lot had changed, and the one thing that we showed all year was it was hard to make adjustments with Leftwich at the helm as a play caller this year. And
Yes.
so no matter what we were faced with, nothing ever really changed. The interior run game didn't work. We had to go quick passes and screens, and we threw the ball way too many times a game to have success. And our postseason was short lived.
Yes, it was. I do agree with that. I just look at it. If you're gonna pass a lot, change it up. Everything was so predictable. Screen to the side. If it's a third and long, they're just running like they just ran a straight line and that was it. The run was miserable. You didn't use no play action. You didn't chip Parsons enough. He's coming. And I remember there was one play where they chipped Parsons on the right side. I said, Worf's got that side. You don't have to worry about that.
Right, right. You
Look at
need
the
to
left
switch the
side.
other side. Yeah.
Donovan, your man Donovan. Look, Donovan needed help. If you look at that game, it was I felt for him because I was getting frustrated. I said, "Look, he can only do so much, but that's the coach's job. What did
Yeah,
you do to help your players out?" As you said, I said this on one of my podcasts. The word this describes this season was underachieved. What is the if you had to say one word? What about you? What do you give the Bucks season in a nutshell? And
dumpster
one,
fire. I don't know if that qualifies as one or two. It just, I guess it depends on how you look it up. But I did a piece the other day, and I said to sum up the season in short, it was a dumpster fire.
hmm,
And it started to me with the Jensen injury, and it just continued to trickle all the way downhill throughout the entire season of people being hurt, not ever having guys on the field at the same time, Brady blowing up on the sideline, uh, people wanting coaches gone. It just never amounted to be a season like it has been. If you look at the 3 or even 2 years previous to this one, it
yeah,
just kind of turned into just a cluster. And I was like,
mhm.
man, this is just a hot mess. Like, let's pour some gasoline on it, strike a match, and let's get ready for the future because there's nothing else we can really do or make of this season.
Now
And
you
the more you think about it, the more pissed off you get.
exactly, and that's what I want. Thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to ask you since you've played, you know, how would like as a player, you've been out there when you see a team, you have the potential, but nothing is going right. You people are blaming each other. Like, how does one feel within that locker room as one of the players? Like, what is going through y'all minds throughout this entire season?
Man, that's a tough time because that's when the locker room tends to get divided. Is when things aren't going as you think they should go. You have talent on the team.
Yes.
You're not performing. You're not winning games. Defense. If they come out and have a great game, they're blaming the offense. If the offense ever does something and the defense slips up, they're blaming. So you got guys going back and forth. And for the most part this year, our defense has kept us in games. Like I said, we averaging 18 points a game. And coming off of years past was in the 30 plus points, third highest scoring team in the league. What the hell is going on? And that from a defense standpoint, you like, dude, what are we doing? Like, damn, what else we got to do? And
Yeah, right.
but AJ, the one thing I think that a lot of people aren't talking about,
Yes.
Shaq Barrett being hurt killed us on the edge. It really took away a lot of the pressure that we usually get on the edge. And I still believe that Joe Tryon Shoyinka is going to be a good player, but I didn't see the spurts out of him. I didn't see enough out of him this year to
Mhm.
make me feel like he's there yet. And that's and I was kind of disappointed at that because I really thought that he was going to pour it on this year. And
Yes.
when Shaq got hurt, it really changed up the edge rush. You saw on defense, we really couldn't set the edge to stop runs from the outside. Um, Vita being in and out late in the season with the calf injury, Hicks. I mean, so many different things. But in the locker room, these guys had to be going at each other, and this is why Bowles had to make changes to
Yes.
show, like, look, we're going to right the ship. We're going to get things right. We're gonna clean house, and I really think that this is going to be his 1 year to get it done.
I agree. And I'm glad that you said that because I do sense that as well. I can sense that you know, certain players are like, all right, I'm sick of this, especially the receiving core. I have a feeling that Evans was not. I don't even think that the receiving core was truly mad at Brady. I think they were frustrated with Brady. Now I do see that, but I think they were more pissed off at the coaching staff. As you said, Bowles, we don't. This is my opinion. There's two things that I think a coach needs in order to have a successful, great team: accountability and belief. You can't tell me that Byron had accountability or belief in in the players. He had accountability. He didn't even have accountability within himself. But you know this again. We've talked about this before. How is it like? What would you say if you sense that your coach doesn't believe in you and he's putting you in a bad position? Now, mind you, this is your livelihood on the line. Like, do you feel that you would have to say something to him or talk
Putting
to
you in a bad
somebody else?
position.
Now,
What
mind you,
would
this is
change
your
your life?
command. Like how would you handle that situation?
I mean, well, the thing is, depending on the guys on that team, if I'm an offensive guy, and that's the one thing I like about the NFL. You know, your coaches normally have an open door policy where you can go and you talk to them. Hey, what's going on? What's the plan? What are you seeing?
Yes.
Why we calling this week?
Yes.
What y'all see on film that that we need to build on this game plan. So with 12, at the quarterback position, he was coming at him asking him the questions about the preparation and the plan,
Yeah.
and everybody had to be on the same accord, but the execution of it. So it's just like, what was going on, where plays being audible out of on the line, like. But as a player, me seeing that, I'm going to my coordinator. I'm going, hey, B, what's going on, man? Why we, what are we working on this week? What we got? How we
Yep.
mixing it up? Would y'all see, before I go into this film session with y'all to know, all right, cool, this is what's going. And some of it, man, you see it on the field. It didn't even look like the players really believe sometimes. Like when they went out there, it's like they weren't even playing. They were playing to run up, the execute a play, but knowing that it was going to be minimal gain of success out of it. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't
Oh,
look
oh
like
yeah.
it
Oh,
didn't
I
look
get it.
like, oh, this is a good one. We gonna get them. And
Yep.
I think a lot of people got fooled, and I say fooled the Carolina game because you know J.C. Horn was hurt. That secondary was beat up, and Mike Evans had a day.
Yes,
And
he
we
did.
never gonna take anything away from Mike because we know he's a great talent, right?
Yes. Right.
But I think it gave hope and belief, like, okay, we can get back to throwing the ball down the field again, and that's it. And then we couldn't deviate from it or change anything up. And by the time, after we win division, lose San Fran, playoffs hit, it's just like, what the hell, man? We got nothing done at all.
Yes, and this is why I think personally the belief was gone. But that starts with Byron, and I just think, like from what I sense, ego. Now, James, have you seen some of his press conferences? Have you seen the words that come out of his mouth and the expressions and gestures Byron makes when people ask simple questions?
I haven't watched a lot of his press conferences. I'm not going to even lie to you, man.
No,
I would have to go back and pull it up and see some of the old stuff.
it
But
would
it's
piss you off. It would piss you
really,
off. It would, because one person, I forgot who it was, and he brilliantly asked him. He said, "I'm not here to be disrespectful." He said, "It's not, but not to beat up a dead horse. But why do you insist on running up the gut when you get no fact, nothing going?" He literally said, like, "We just do what we feel that's best for the game." And then laughed at the guy and then tried to say this isn't fantasy. You know what kills me, James? I get it. This games are you can't play the NFL like you do in Madden, but damn it, this is called thinking outside of the box. You can't also run something that's not helping. So why do people say stuff like that, not realizing it's like, okay, then if you don't have an answer, just say that.
I don't know if it's that he didn't have an answer. It may have been the lack of respect for the person asking the question. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To where if you laugh at what someone says, but
Yes.
and also in your mind, if you think that you're doing what's right,
Yep.
sometimes you're not going to take ownership and accountability and admitting to that you're wrong, and
Yes.
that can be a vice for a lot of guys that are in a position of calling plays or doing things.
Yes.
Um, and we've seen it with great head coaches. Sometimes they get to a point in their career where they can't admit that, I'm missing some things. I need some help seeing it. Let me
Yeah.
get the right guys in here to help me, get this thing straight.
Mhm.
And next thing you know, you get dissensions among coaches, and man, in situations where coaches have gotten in fight. Not me personally, but talking to other friends around the league, like, man, these fools in the locker room about to fight today. Who? Man, my position coach and my coordinator. Like, what? Like, yeah, man. So you just get ego, and that's the one thing. Like, once you start to have some success,
Yes.
ego will start to kick in sometime. And
Mhm.
I mean, like I said, I wasn't there. I was in the facility. I don't know, but there's got to be, it's remnants of thinking that if that's how it was in most press conferences, maybe
Mhm.
Byron Leftwich thought he had all the answers and didn't need to listen to anyone
Mhm.
else. You know what I
You
mean?
are Yeah, I get it. Now, let me ask you this. We all need a player on the team that's like, I'm happy that we won this, but we ain't there yet, fellas. We got to take it to another level. When you played, give me a player that you saw like he was happy for the win, but he kept looking further down. Hey guys, we haven't done anything just yet. I'm
Bluetooth
proud of this.
disconnected.
Let's take it to the next level. We still got a ways to go. Was there anyone in the locker room that you felt like, damn, this dude is about his business? He doesn't just accept one win; he wants them all. Like who would you say had that fire like that?
The first name I think of is Derek Brooks. When I played, it was D Brooks all day, every day. Rondé Barber was like that.
Yes.
And my rookie year, that was Hardy Nickerson all the way around. You know what I mean? It's just,
Ooh.
so I mean, I played with guys that like I said, this we knew the standard, and that's what I
Yes.
always tell my players when I come to the locker room during football season. Like, hey, know the standard. Like you
Yes.
know the standard. Like, yeah, you're supposed to have success. You're supposed to win, but the standard is we're gonna go above and beyond and be better than everybody else that we play against. So, have
Hmm.
you met the standard today? And it was like that when we got to practice. Like, you know what the standard was. You weren't gonna walk in between plays. You weren't gonna walk on the field. You're gonna run to the ball. If you didn't, you're gonna get called out in the man. The worst thing on and not just game film. I'm not just talking about Monday mornings reviewing a Sunday game. Man, going into practice the next day and going into that film session, if you knew you had a loaf in practice, the whole defense was gonna call your ass out on it. The whole defense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, the coaches didn't even have to say nothing half the time because the players knew the standard that held you accountable. And it
Yep.
worked, it came from the top down.
Damn. And I can only imagine there was no technology back in y'all day, so y'all could get away with saying whatever y'all wanted to say to each
Oh,
other.
oh, ooh. Hey man, thank God there was no camera phones or apps or I mean, these fools get social media breaks nowadays. Dawg. It wasn't that. It was just
Right.
getting, just getting after it.
Nah, I understand. No, but and that's what is missing on this Bucks team right now. Typically when we was on our Super Bowl run, you not only Arians, but we had Ndamukong Suh. We also had Jason Pierre-Paul.
Mm.
I just think this season we got a little too like lazy. We weren't hungry, like especially with Jason Light. You see how he was just there was no reason that you shouldn't have cut Jason Pierre-Paul. We should have kept Sue. You should have found a way to reconstruct and say, look, because one, we know Sue was great at stopping the run. Pierre-Paul was the voice of reasoning. I don't think this season we had a guy in there. Like you said, they were just out there to go, let's get this over with.
You don't think Levante David is that guy for them?
I think he is, but I feel what from what I've seen, he's more of a lead by action.
Okay,
Um,
he's not that vocal leader. He's just
yes,
that play hard. Okay, I can see that in his play. I
yeah.
got you. Um,
You gotta have a guy that says this. Like, and I know this seems childish, but at this point, desperate times call for desperate measures. This is what I would have done. One guy, if I know I'm that guy, we're gonna have a big ass meeting. Offense, no, the team on one side, coaches on the other. One person from other side write down 5 things that they feel that needs to be perfected, switch it, give it to someone on each side to read it out loud so that everybody can hear what the issue is, and then we sit down for a compromise. Now, I know that looks corny, but I think that's something that needs to be held because I feel like it was a lot of, like you said, back behind the scenes talking, and it wasn't truly brought to the table.
I mean, desperate, like you said, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Hmm.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall in team meetings to hear what was said, how it was said, and how it was addressed. Um, the one thing that guys got to remember, and I always tell fans, more often than not, it's a job and you're a professional, and everyone is accountable for their part. And you just hope that the accountability was there in the room for people to speak on it. And you would think somebody like, TB12 being in the locker room, you would have that accountability on offense. But, from what I'm hearing from some people now, it was more of a bitch and moan session for him most of the time. And and I'm not. You look at the Tom was on that downhill slide, man. He's trying to get what he can, get one more chip before he shuts it down,
Yeah.
and wanted everything to be a certain way. And it just wasn't that way this year, and I don't think there's one reason you can put on
Hmm.
why it wasn't that way. Just this whole season, like if you go back to think about from Brady, Brady announcing his retirement to all of a sudden Brady's coming back, but next thing you know, Arians is stepping away into a consultant role and not head coaching. Bowles is going to be the coach. All of that shit happened real fast and took off real crazy. It was just like, hold on, let me stop and think. What's happening? Like something don't like
Yeah, something not
something don't
right.
smell right. Something don't smell. But everybody's like, oh man, Brady, and we got blinded by the fact that Brady was back, and we never really stopped to think there's something more going on here that we really don't know about. Something being hush hush, and then the season went to shit. You like, does all this have something to do with what happened in the beginning? It make you just start wondering,
Yeah,
was this just a trickle down effect of everything happening so fast?
I agree. That is the $1 million question. What happened to make Arians just go upstairs and just hand the keys? Because that is something that we will probably never know until years down the line. But
Right.
in your personal opinion, though, do you hold Aaron as just as responsible as the other coaches staff?
I'm not. No, I'm not because he stepped away. Why he stepped away, I don't know. But I'm not gonna be, hey man, you shouldn't have. Because to me, that's selfish, and I'm looking at it from a professional standpoint. I'm not from a fan standpoint. Hell yeah, he just is wrong. But realistically, from a professional standpoint, I don't know what the compromise was. I don't know if they said, "Hey, I need you to do this," and he was just like, "You know what? That's my breaking point. Give me a consultant role. I'll step away from the helm. You got Todd here. He knows how I do things, and
Yeah,
you'll be okay." And he stepped away from. So I'm not gonna blame him for that because, like I said, I don't know what. Like you said, he might write something in his memoirs down the line, and we be like, "Damn, that's why he left," and we'll know
right.
then. But right now, we don't know, and it's all speculation. But
Mhm.
at the same time, if you ask me, James, do you think it would have been different if BA was at the helm this season? I'm gonna say, yeah. I just think things would run different. I just and no, like I said, no knock on Todd Bowles. I want him to have a legit chance of putting fixing the pieces in the staff that needed to be fixed,
Yeah,
getting a defensive coordinator where he doesn't have to wear too many hats,
yeah,
and really manage. A good head coach manages the coaches under him, and they run everything. A
yes,
good head coach, if he does it right, he should be able to step away for a day, not be there, and everything goes off without a hitch, just like he's there.
I
And
agree.
I think Todd was doing too many things. I think you can, and that too was you hire me late. That I don't really get a chance to search for a true defensive coordinator. I'll just do it.
But let's talk about this because that's a rumor as well. Apparently, did you hear about that? I think around the before the bye week around that time, Byron, the Glazers wanted Byron fired, but Bowles stepped out there and said no because one, we don't want to. I don't know if we can find anybody now. That right there, if he truly believes that nobody would want to come in and help Tom Brady, I don't know. Like if
Well,
that's
no,
true,
AJ, I do believe. Well, think about this, man. In
yeah,
in all the years you've
yeah,
seen OC, if they get fired during the season,
yeah,
you usually bring in somebody within. You don't go outside to hire.
yeah.
All the people that probably could have done it within, hell, they're gone now. He fired them, right? So maybe there was nobody within that could do it better. He's like, man, we got to ride this out because I ain't got nobody.
I mean,
You know
damn
what
it.
I'm saying? You think
I
about this.
know,
You
I
look
know.
at all the offensive pieces he let go.
I
So
get it.
so
I
who
get
was it?
that.
And you this late in the, I mean, that point in the season to really put an interview process together to go out. And if you bring in somebody outside, now you're talking about trying to put in something different or new. You pass the training camp stages, you can't implement a new playbook in the middle of a season. So he would have had to stay in house. And like I said, obviously there was no one in house that could get it done. Because I would have thought, okay, he moved Leftwich, Clyde Christensen could slide into the job.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying, during the season. And
yeah.
he didn't do that. So either he was being beyond loyal, or he really had no faith in anyone on the staff to move them into that position and let Leftwich go.
Yeah, and I want to ask you because since we all know our breaking point, but what article? Because I want people to get to know about because guys, James puts out hella great content. What article did you feel that you put out there where you just reached your point where you like you said, oh, the Bucks are not going to have a fantastic season. They're going to be who they are, who their record shows. What game really article that you put? You said, okay, I can't do it with them. They're not going anywhere.
Oh, what game, man? You got me thinking because I started dropping so many pieces.
Yeah,
I felt like a machine gun, and it was like, damn, James. I mean, I had fans go, James, are you really giving up on your team like that? You got to believe. And it was an article like, is it is Brady? No, is it time? Can we right the ship, or is it time to make changes? And it was just to a point where we were underperforming. I'm looking
mhm,
at games. I'm just like, dude, this is not getting no better. We're not making no changes. It was who was it that we played before New Orleans? And the Thursday night game against Baltimore got me. But after that, and it was just like in the Bengals game, I was just like, yo, this is it. Like this. And I got comments and tweets back like, big game, you can't give up on the team, man. You gotta have faith, you gotta believe. And I'm like, dude, fans believe. I'm looking at this from I'm analyzing games when I look at it, I'm breaking stuff down.
yeah,
And from the standpoint where I'm looking, if I'm on the outside, if I'm looking in this meeting room and talking to this team, this is like y'all can fix it, but you won't fix it. Like they're not doing the things to get it fixed, and it's just like it comes to a point in time. Is it time just to give up on this season and go to the next one? You know, people
Mhm.
laughing at me, but I was like, shit. Ain't no need to make this rush to go to the playoffs in the NFC South that we suck. The whole division's doo doo. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we might as well just go ahead and lose out and get a better draft pick, especially if 12 not coming back. Like, what we fighting to get a playoff spot for to lose and just be done?
Mhm.
And it was to that point, was like, well, we got these games left, and if we win, I was just like, man, the hell with this. We don't need to win another game. We just need to go and give it up and improve our draft status. And I caught hell for it, AJ. Boy, did I catch hell from everybody.
Of course, you were a former player.
But I just spoke my truth at what I was feeling at the time because I was just like, it's painful to watch. And you watch the games like, all right, man, just get 19. We get 19, we might win. Oh, 21, we should. I mean, it got to that point where it's just like, hey, we're just trying to win. Oh man, it
No,
was bad.
I understand, and that's why I was asking because but again, you're a player. Now, can you imagine like from a coaching standpoint? Because again, I've coached and I'm sitting here like you have the talent. What the hell is going on? And I wouldn't mind hearing a story about Byron and them throwing some hands against his coordinators. I know I would have. I'd have been like, Byron, I can't take you serious. If
Right.
you don't know how to do this, please let me know. And I understand what you're saying. Implement. I look at it like this: the Bucs. What makes it sad? The Bucs offense would literally maybe 5 to 10 extra different plays from being competent. They didn't have to instill. Now, for me personally, if the Bucs would have ran a spread, it would have been much better. Now, I know the line. I get it. The line would have been a little tricky, but this is where Fournette was underutilized. I would have told him throughout most of the season, you're chipping. And you're going to chip or you're going to fake chip and go out. Crossing routes are coming in. You didn't see any of that. Otten, he was a sneaker. Go up the seam. Scotty
Right.
Miller, they didn't utilize anybody receiving court for their to the best. But let me ask you, that's what I'm saying. The Steelers game is what proved it. When I saw that they had literally people coming off the street playing corner and they ran the damn ball, you got Gedeke trying to block Hayward in a run. Mind you, TJ Watt is out. You
Right.
don't pass. Oh, I was done. I James, I'm not saying I'm like, look, I ain't saying that I'm the best, but damn it, the only difference between me and Byron, I didn't have his resources. You get me on that team, I don't know. Look, but you wouldn't see that. Oh, we're not running up the gut. So that's what I'm saying. I just look at it like Bowles, if you're gonna do something, he's got to get this coordinator right this season, this off season. In
Oh,
your
it's a must. It's a must, man. It's and I keep hearing that Monken is interviewing and it may bring him back. Um I don't know. I mean, man, you can't miss. You best go get the best one out there. That's gonna change it. And a lot of the offensive formations, I think they ran this year.
yeah,
Using Cole Keith, using Cade Otten, wanting to keep the tight ends or double tights was to help protect that line. I mean, help the line protect because they weren't great. And that safety valve for Brady to want to dump into tight ends. Brady wants to utilize tight ends a lot. So I think that's why you couldn't get your spread that you wanted to see a little bit more of. But your interior line is banged up and you want to run the ball in the interior like it makes no sense at all.
right. It
You
makes
can't be a power run team with the middle. You gotta and if you gotta run some counters, you gotta run some traps, you gotta get some talk, you gotta get outside because Rashad White showed that he's a talent. He was a great pickup in the third round. It's just
yes, he
how
was.
we utilize him to get him going. And they try so much screen game when teams know that you run a screen and can call defense to play that screen, it doesn't help a back like White. It wasn't the element of surprise of hitting them with draws on screens. I mean, it's like we know it's coming. You
Yep,
can't run this. We're not gonna let you throw it down the field. We're gonna
exactly.
bracket Evans. You're gonna either throw a screen or a quick out, and it was like I said, it was tough. It was like knowing that you about to get your teeth pulled with no numbing agent.
Right,
You just walk into the dentist. I was like, I just
right, and they just say yank,
just
yank, yank.
it's gonna hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because I have to make sure I say this because a lot of people was calling me a Tom Brady apologist, and I said, no. First off, there were plenty of times where I'm looking at Brady like, what the hell are you doing? Like when he threw the ball away too quick, or he didn't want to take a hit, so he would
Right.
just throw it away. No, we need the 2020 and 2021 Brady. He comes back. We need that guy. I don't give a damn if, let's say this, he only plays 9 games of the season, but we go 9-0 and he balls out, and he gets injured, but he can't come back until if we make the playoffs. I wouldn't be mad at that, Brady. But what I don't want to do, I know he won't play like that, but that's if we don't have that kind of energy with Brady coming back, it's a waste of time because I want to see that Brady.
I want to
Now I
ask
know
you
I'm asking a lot.
a little bit, but I want to ask you this:
What's up?
did you see the same thing I saw? That's not that dude no more right now, man. Brady, people say it was the offense and the way they called it. Brady missed on some balls bad late in the year,
Yes, he
and
did.
to me, and I don't know that man's personal life, but I know he had a lot going on.
Yes, he did.
I can't anybody that's got to go through a divorce in general is
Mhm.
rough, and to do it during the middle of an NFL season, boy, can't
Yeah,
imagine what that's like. The court stuff with the crypto, and they said the
everybody in your
physical
business.
toll and yeah, just so much going on. But watching some of those games, you look at this stuff, you just like, hey man, this is the first time I thought I'd ever said Brady look old. Brady looked 45.
Yes, yes,
He looked
yes.
45, and it's just like everyone's like, he come back one more year, he'll do this. But to me, if he comes back and the games are like those last couple I saw,
Yeah.
it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help at all.
No, it's not. The only thing that we do have, and I hope that Bowles has learned from this, is you keep your line healthy. We will have a healthy Jensen. We will have a healthy Stenny. Now, hopefully, he can
Right.
come back. And I want to get into this with you later on. But draft a left tackle. I'm not sold on Donovan, just because of the fact of he gives up a
The
lot.
penalties too, man.
Yeah, those penalties.
It's just like I mean, every time it's a good play, I'm looking for the flag by Donovan Smith.
Yes,
I'm
and
like,
but when he gets beat, now you can say this, like you've played the game. When he gets beat and you see some of the expressions that he gets, it's like he just has that. Now, one thing I know for me would piss me off as if I'm on your team, you give me the oh well kind of mindset. Now I'm
yeah,
gonna be like, my man, what the hell are you doing? Because first of all, there's someone else out there who could have your position who would love to play and make 10 times less than what you make. You
right.
got to show me some damn effort. If he got to lose weight, then do something. Because sometimes I just see that he just looks so out of position because the dude is so much faster. When he's on, he's on, but when he's off, he's off. And Brady can't have that kind of left tackle if he comes back.
Yeah,
So I
he's
I,
feast or
I just
famine. I
say
feel you. I feel
like
you on
I,
that.
I'm all for getting a left tackle, even if Brady doesn't come back. Get like, and I can't believe I'm saying this because we talked about this on another stream. Let me ask you this: going back to Dallas, if the Bucs had a Derek Carr or a Baker Mayfield, is the outcome of that game different?
Mm. I don't think so. Only
Okay.
because I think it's the same offensive line, and Dallas got pressure. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They play well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think it changes. I don't think well, the dynamics of Baker's legs may have helped a little bit. I
Right.
mean, it may have helped to change the legs a little bit. Derek Carr,
No.
not sold on that dude. I mean, that's just me. I he ain't done nothing in Vegas, Oakland, wherever since been there. To
I get you. Only reason I mentioned that is because there are times where we're gonna need it. If Brady, this is if again Brady coming back, the line and scheme has got to be perfect.
I think he's gone though, dog. I don't think he. This is my thing with
You think he's
Tom.
gone? Mhm.
I think, and people keep saying, "Man, he going." They tell me he going to San Francisco. Ain't no way. If you think San Francisco is a place with weapons and he has a chance to win, and it's like, well, they got Purdy and they got Lance
Yeah.
and Jimmy G's gonna be gone. Lance, they could keep Lance or they could trade him away, and then Purdy could learn under Brady for a year. Brady could go out there utilize McCaffrey, Kittles, Debo, great defense, and I Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, man, Brady would love playing with that too. I think, and it'll just be one good year for San Fran to try to get over the hump. So I could see it. I think Brady's ring chasing right now, and then
Yeah.
if he is not confident in the front office and the coaching staff in Tampa,
Yeah.
he's not going to come back to it.
Agreed. It depends on what coordinator we get.
Right? Yeah.
Because Bill O'Brien's off the table. Now, if we
Did he
would
go back
have,
to New England?
yes, he did. He went
Oh,
to New England. So that's off the table. Yeah, that
went home to daddy.
right. When I saw that, I was like, oh, damn it. I'm like, but um,
He bugs me, but I would like him as a coordinator.
right, right. That's why Munkin would be the only reason I'm comfortable is because when we did have Munkin, he did do good things with the Bucks.
Uh-huh.
I just at this point, I just want to see what they're gonna do with that. Because again, you bring Brady back or whatever because of the cap, if he does. But if I'm Brady, though, like it ain't that many places he can really go either. Because as you said, he's not mobile. They're gonna check, they're gonna really ask Brady, what are you coming here for? And if you do, are you gonna bring that fire that you brought to this Bucks organization in 2020? Because again, he can't keep doing this, throwing it away. Because and let me ask you this, I think that kind of pisses his line off because he wasn't like under siege so much, but when you throw it away, I'm sure your line is like, well, shit. I mean, damn, you can't keep yelling at me when you throw the ball away and
Yeah.
that one
Yeah.
is wide open.
Right. Right. You got a point. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I want to try to break that down this week and do it.
Yes,
Start working on my off season pieces and getting stuff. See what what works, what doesn't work. If Brady were to come, but I'll be the first. You be the first person to hear this from me. Part of me just wants Brady to go. You know what? I'm done. I'm retired. We can move on. I mean, thank you. Like I said, I'll be one of the first people to say it. Brady is a goat. Like if you watch the season review piece where I said the season's a dumpster fire, I gave Brady his flowers, but at the same time, I'm ready for him to make a decision to make it early because the team needs to know what they need to do and prepare for.
I
Like, do you
agree.
really plan on coming back? Do we really need to work around building this line for you? Do we need to look to go get a quarterback in the draft? Can Trask get it done? Gabbert's a free agent. Do we even really want? What do we want to do? How do we address it? How do we evaluate these young people at the Senior Bowl when we go down here to know what we really getting, like what we're looking to get? And so Brady, I think, owes that to the Buccaneers, let them know something.
Yes, I agree. And that's another thing. I can't I Brady, you're pissing me off with that. Like make your decision soon so we can understand where to go in the direction we need to know. Now, again, I know I keep saying this, but if the because of the cap issues too, I know we just raised it. We were 55.7, but apparently you got to add 18, take away 18, so we would be 37 million. I think with him coming back, it would knock like another 10, 15 million off. But I just look at it like this. He comes back. A lot of people who need a return, they're gonna have to take pay cuts as well.
Right.
And it's a Super Bowl or bust, but more than that, he would have to have a historical run. The Bucks that would have to be a 13 minimum win team, and they go all the way. That
Right.
is to me, anything else is unacceptable. As you said, if he does, a part of me does feel like if he leaves, hey, we appreciate you, go, but now let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Like, let me ask you this: your first 4 rounds of the offseason for the Bucks in the draft, first 4 picks, what do they need in order in your
Mm.
first 4 picks?
All right, man. Wow. O O line,
Okay.
D line, believe it or not. And I didn't think I would say that with with Logan Hall being drafted and Joe Tryon the year before that, but it's still pieces there. There's not a lot of depth, like you said. Free agency there. We got some free agents in the middle that probably gonna be able to get better deals somewhere else. Are gonna be gone. So I say O line, D line, secondary. Like it's gonna be dismantled a little bit. So we're gonna need some in the secondary and quarterback.
Mm, I
And I
hear
say
you.
quarterback because I don't think we're spending the first round pick on the quarter. I don't. I mean, the order, but we still need to find somebody that might be a diamond in the rough. You know what I mean? I just, that's kind of what I think, man. And I might be off, but we need depth at certain parts, and those are the front is most important to me. That's just my mindset as a D lineman.
Nah, you ain't wrong. I said left tackle, uh, D lineman. another edge rusher because we don't know what Shaq's going to be like coming
Right.
off an injury.
Right.
We pray that he gets better, but that's not always guaranteed. And believe it or not, yeah, you're right. I want another corner, but this time I want another. Yeah, those would be so left tackle, D
Mhm.
lineman, edge rusher, and a corner.
Okay.
We need that left tackle regardless. I actually want to see if we can't get anybody in free agency as a QB, let's see what Trash got. Look, we got to be real. This is the season. This next season, if Brady doesn't come back and we don't get someone in a free agency, let's see what the kid has. I know
Yeah.
people because what I don't want is another Steve Young effect. Remember, we had Steve Young in Tampa, and
Let
then
him
he
go to
goes,
Frisco and
leaves, and
become the
now
man.
God, it's like how many times we got to do that. So
Yeah. And
I
Trask was a second round pick. So
yes,
it's like
and I want to know
he's gotta have something that you saw. You get
yes.
him in the second round.
Right. Because if that's the case, you just wasted a draft pick.
Right.
You and that's why I tell people, oh, well, they'll say no, Trask. I'm like, no, it's not that I think he's great. I want to see what he has.
We don't know, and you can't judge off of 6 snaps in the preseason or a quarter and mop up duty against the Falcons where you're resting everybody to get ready for the playoffs anyway.
Exactly. What would he be like? For all we know, he has a decent, strong arm that he can throw to someone like a Mike Evans. We need somebody. We have the receiving core. I think is still going to
Right.
be
Right.
strong.
Right.
Evans, Godwin. I hope they keep Scotty because he can be used the right way. Russell Gage,
Yeah.
I think is an up and coming star as a tight end. He's very fluid. He
I
knows how
like
to
Iden. I
play.
think you're right. I think you're
Yeah.
right. I like Iden a lot.
And I like Keith as the dirty dog because he's good at blocking. You got to have a dirty dog on your offense.
Yeah, he like the little fat nasty man. He gonna get
Yeah, like
after. He
look,
not gonna complain. He'll throw the blocks.
right,
He'll get the dirty work done, and he can catch well too. And then you put him in the
exactly,
backfield and let him he can lead block like a fullback as well. So
exactly.
yeah,
Because
Cole
now,
Keith is not a bad guy to have around.
no, and let me ask you this: if Brady doesn't come back, are you willing to pull the plug on Leonard?
Man, Leonard came in the camp so big and never looked right, man. Yeah, what Leonard we gonna get? I mean, he 10 years. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be funny. You can find running backs now.
Yeah.
It's been proven that, you know, yeah, I would.
So, and that would probably save us some cap money as well. Uh, if Donovan Smith, it's like, look, I would say either we can restructure your contract to where we can save, or we gotta let you go. I do think you gotta cut people off that's not bringing. The Bucks need that the Jensen guys, somebody on the offense with that fire to say,
Yeah,
guys, accountability, but again, belief.
yep. Because
Nobody in there.
we miss Ryan Jensen and that nastiness this year.
Yes,
And Ryan Jensen's one. He's gonna hold you accountable.
he's
He's
gonna
gonna call you out when you mess up. He's gonna hold his O line accountable, and we missed that this season.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Bucks offense had no identity of we're tough guys. One of the things that made me
Amen, preacher. Amen.
I'm just saying we didn't.
Amen.
I look, for me, I like the running back position. That's what I would love to play. Oh, I'm a dog in somebody. I don't care who you are. Like if Parsons wouldn't like me because I would definitely get in his head. I'd be like, "You gonna tweet about that, sweetie? You gonna get upset about this?" Because that's why I love Jensen. When Parsons, I'm just gonna let you know right now, Parsons get on my damn nerves. When he walked up in that huddle, you already know as a football player, going on the other opposing team's side, that's like going into the Lions den. Get your ass back on your time,
Right.
on your side.
Right.
When Jensen pushed him and he did that flop, I kind of lost a lot of respect for Parsons. I'd rather you be a man and own up to your trash talking. Don't run up in there in the huddle and with somebody else, and then when they set you straight, now all of a sudden, like, how do you feel about players with that kind of personality?
Man, it's always somebody. I respect Parsons' game, what he brings. I believe that he's used wrong. But
Mm.
that's another team and another topic. Because Dallas Cowboys don't know what the hell they doing.
No,
It's not the way you beat Tampa the way you do when they go out and just blow it against San Francisco the way you did. Um, but it's always that person on another team that just gets under your skin and just does some shit. You're like, come on, man, go on with that. Um, And we had we had guys that had their moments of doing things that was silly and doing stuff to try to get the other opponent. But sometimes it works. Sometimes you do stuff like that and it gets into the opponent's head and you're like, damn, I got them now. They ain't even worrying about what's really going on. They worried about me. And so, you try different things to see how you gonna get what kind of reaction you gonna get. And I think that's what Michael Parsons was trying to do. He was trying to get a reaction.
Right. And my thing is though, it's like don't like that. To me, that flopping shit is just I can't do it because
Oh,
now
that's what I can't stand that. You falling like you just got struck by King
yes,
Kong's fist, and I didn't even hardly touch you. Like, come on.
yes. Let's see, and that's why I do because if I'm the Bucks, Fournette's duty would have been okay, when you chip, blow his ass up and get him mad. As you said, take him out the game because
Right,
Parsons, his skill is like that, but this and this ain't there yet
right,
because someone like that, they're too busy on trying to make a point so they can look good instead of thinking about the whole grand scheme of the game.
right.
You take him out. The Bucks did not do that. Uh, so yeah, that's why, like you said, for Fournette, I like Rashad White. I think he showed that he's the future. I
Yeah.
think he gives you more versatility and he can bring more fear to defenders where they have to acknowledge, hey, this guy can move and he
And
can
he
run.
can catch, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Yeah,
Right. So
exactly.
we need to just cut that out as well. But whoever we draft, especially on the line, worse is the fundamental finesse tough guy. But
Right.
we need. Can you imagine a Ryan Jensen at left tackle? Woo! At left
Really.
tackle,
Mm,
we need someone like that to where you're
got
not
you.
getting to the quarterback.
Right.
We need that because let's be real. If this line, if they can get someone that can complement Tristan on the left tackle side, and Jensen is healthy and Steny is healthy, and
And
Leverett
Shaq
is
and,
actually
and
pretty
Shaq
good.
Mason played well. I mean, he's solid. We just need that other guy. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see it.
you have depth now with Leverett and these guys. You will have depth. He'll be
But Deck,
in
yeah.
his second God help him because I hope he can get better. But with that being said, with the receiving core, now you got a decent offense. You not decent, you got a legit offense. Now you just need the right players to call it. So that's where I am on offense. Now, defensively, what are your something that you're happy with, but something that you are also concerned with down the line?
I think depth and making sure like guys like Vita Vea has proper rotation because um oh man I had his name at the tip of my tongue. That's a free agent this year. That number was it 56. Roaches in he
Yeah, Nunez Roaches.
Nunez Roaches, isn't he a free agent?
I think so. I think he is.
He's a free agent and somebody else on that I was thinking about.
Isn't William Golston a free agent?
Yeah. It's just like the couple pieces that we could lose. So right now, like on the defense side of the ball, um, what's
Levante is a free agent. He's gonna be a free
I
agent.
think, but I think Levante deserves to be a Buck. He wants to stay in Tampa. I think they get that deal done. And he resigns.
Yes.
Him and Devin White, the linebacker position, I'm not worried about. But Murphy Bunting. I know a lot of people are going to be trying to, going to be after him in free agency, him
And
leaving. Um, Logan Ryan. I mean, it's like, is he gone? You know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen back there? It's just the depth and and needing those pieces and those vital pieces that have been around for so long. You know what I mean? Those
yeah,
guys, some of those guys have been around and been focal points and making good things happen more often than not. Um, are we going to have the depth? And that's really what like I said, and with this cap space, waiting to see what's going to happen with 12. What can we do to make sure we keep some of these other pieces? You're not going to be able to keep everybody. You really got to lay down who's worth coming back and who you're going to pursue at that same position that may be a little bit better that's already on another team. Who
mm,
can you bring in here free agency? And that's the one thing. When you had 12 at quarterback, you lure a little bit more people free agent wise than you would have with him being gone.
agreed. Now I understand. I I want if Devin for me because I know Devin's gonna want a big payday after this season, but Devin, I'm gonna need Devin to have a Fred Warner All Pro season because he's gonna want a lot of money, but
Mhm.
I want him to be consistent because we all know this. We love Devin White, but his biggest issue is what coverage. His
Right.
coverage skills is now. I'm hoping maybe he's been misused the wrong way, But I don't know. I kind of feel like that's just who he is. He'll blow you up in the run. I think he should be used more as a pass rusher as well because he has the speed to get around. But Antoine Winfield's another one. That's a star.
Man,
We're gonna have to pay him. That guy's gonna be an
I just
elite
want him to stay
football.
healthy, man. Like
I think
Antoine
so.
Whitfield,
Yeah.
he came into the league like
Yes.
already, he's got that it factor. Like he
Yes.
believes in, he's got that swagger about him and he plays to back it up, and I love it. And the times that he was out this year, we could feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he sure
We
could.
missed the times that he wasn't on the field. But yeah,
Yeah, and
you're dead on that one, man.
yeah, he's going to be expensive, and that's someone that you want to keep because I think he's going to be like a leader by the next season. I won't be surprised like he'll be considered an elite safety within the next year or two because
Hmm.
that's what he brings. We have to keep guys like, and then Vita. We like to me the two people you got Vita and Antoine. I love
Yeah,
Devin White, but you can like you can draft linebackers that can fit a scheme. Antoine and Vita, man, you don't want them going anywhere because that will hurt.
yeah,
So
big time,
that's
big
my
time.
concerns right there down the line. And like you said, Brady, let us know so we can get this together now
Yeah.
because we need this. And that's just how I am. Like now, let me ask you. I know. Side note, who do you have winning this whole Super Bowl? I have to ask you that.
Well, I had it wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I had Philadelphia in
Yeah,
San Francisco, not Philadelphia and Cincinnati going at it, and I thought Cincinnati would get that dub last night.
yeah, me too.
As much as it pains me to say this, man, the Eagles, the first two playoff games have been real easy for them. So I
Yeah.
don't, they haven't been tested. Um, but I think that defensive line, the way they played, just that whole defense as a whole, I think Philly can take it to Kansas City and put a little pressure on Mahomes. Good thing for Mahomes, he's got time before that ankle to heal up before the Super Bowl. Um, but I think Philly in a close one, man.
And it would make me mad. I'm sorry. It's not it's just the fans make me ugh.
Oh, oh,
The
oh, ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
The
I always said Philly and the Raiders had the worst fans I've ever been around in my life.
man, look, I went
And them was
there.
my people out in the Bay Area when they was in Oakland.
Right. But no, I look, man, make a long story short, I was there 2 years year ago actually. No, 2 years ago when the Bucs played the Eagles on Thursday night. I
Mhm.
had a Vincent Jackson jersey on. I'm happy we won. We were grilling, having a good time, but do you understand of like the insults they made about Vincent with that jersey on?
Wow.
Yes, it was bad. And I'm
I
walking.
believe it. You saw how they did Nick Bosa. I mean
Yeah,
Joey
now that was
Bosa.
funny. That was funny.
It's just man, they have no filter. They have no care at
No.
all. They bring it to you. They don't give a damn about offending you. If they'll talk about your dead grandmama if they got a chance. They have no
Yes,
filter at all, bro. At all.
yes. So they're just asses, but
Yeah.
Chiefs fans get on my nerves now too because they're like that team where it's like they're just cocky for no reason. And
Only person I like on that team is Chris Jones. Everybody else drive me crazy, and I can't even stand to hear Patrick Mahomes talk. Nothing else. Just he look like Beaker from the Muppet Show.
and he sounds like Kermit. Yes,
Yeah,
but when he tries to get tough, that's hilarious. We're
yeah.
like I really would be like, Mr. Mahomes, Patrick, sit down, Mr. Patrick, and then Travis. I can't stand Travis. He gets on my damn nerves. He's just a big fat sloppy slot receiver. He is not a tight end to me is my man's from Kittles. That's a tight end.
Mm, okay,
Gronkowski's a tight end. We've seen Kelsey's of the world. Everybody acts like he's this phenomenal. I'm like, we've seen you act like Shannon Sharp didn't exist. Antonio Gates didn't exist. You
right,
act like that receiving tight ends, Kellen Winslow's of the world. He's nice. Don't get it twisted, but
right.
eh, it's this. I'll watch it, but it's one of those. Eh, like I'm thinking about the Bucks because
no, I
I'm gonna have my mock draft coming up probably by this time Thursday of who I want because on the line there's a lot of people on the line that's coming out of college that I really do think can help this Bucks team, and that's what I'm looking at.
okay.
That's just me. But I ain't gonna keep you all night. Just again, tell them where we can find you on Twitter and your whole thing, and any articles you coming out with soon.
Well, I believe it or not, man, I did one about from an opposing team in the division on Steve Wilkes getting duped, I think, in Carolina. I
Agreed.
just did a piece on that. Um, I did my Buccaneers year in review piece last that came out last week, and those are all YouTube shorts that you can find on my YouTube channel, Big Game Sports Buzz. On Twitter, it's the handle here is at jcan97 or at BG Sports Buzz. And then my show comes on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then another show I don't really like to promote, but I do. It's on my channel. I got my Cowboys Cutting Up show that I'm not on that show, but it's on my channel. And I always go on there and poke fun at my co-host and his partner for they do a Cowboys show, and I even got a Philadelphia Eagles show, man. That I'm branching out, doing a lot of different things. I'm not doing it, but it's on my channel, so
Oh,
we
thank
got
God.
we got a lot of different content that we putting out there for different people, man. But I try to do a lot of shorts, quick stuff. My Steve Wilkes piece is called Games Extra Point, and that's just me, giving my nugget on, what's going on around the NFL, around the world, or whatever else, man. And right now, this whole Rooney Rule and race relations, when it comes down to interviewing candidates for an NFL coaching job, is just bull. And so I just try to shed light on it a bunch of different ways, man.
Nah, man, continue to do your thing. And guys, remember, we're talking to a Bucks player right here. He played with Derrick Brooks and Nickerson of the world, and then let offense, Mike Allstott of the world. Damn.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yep.
Big
Hey,
Mike.
you ever see Allstott, just tell him I said what's up, and I need to see him in the bench contest. I
Uh
know I might lose, but I just want to see where I am. I can get
oh.
my peak used to be at like 420, and I still get, I can still do 225 30 times, but
Okay.
I just tell Allstott I just want to see what's up. That was my
Gotcha.
the A Train was my guy, everybody. But no, again, James, always thank you for your time, and always great to get insight. Like, I like the reality that how you bring it as a player. My man said, "Look, this season, y'all, let's shut the Carter down.
Yeah, it was just time to roll. Hey,
Shut the Carter
it's
down."
it's funny, man. And if I'm gonna find that piece, man. I'll hit you on your Twitter with you.
Thank you.
Twitter with it, man.
Absolutely. Well, until then, have a good evening. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, AJ, man. You have
All
a good
right.
night.
Nope. You good
All
night
right.
as well, my
All right.
man. So as you see, guys, look, I enjoy it. It's always great to talk to anybody who's played on that level, because you can see their perspectives is always going to be different from ours. So we always have to take that in consideration and look at it at that perspective. Um, but yes, again, guys, we'll be back sometime this week. Again, this is Bucks Report. And then again, always shout out to Slick, and shout out to everyone who watches. We appreciate your time. For me, you can always catch me on It's About Bucking Time. You can always, and that's on YouTube, on Instagram, Flex underscore Luthor 813, and on TikTok as well. And also, I have merchandise. When you click on the link on Instagram, all that will be there. Okay, so check out. I just got new merchandise there. It's really good stuff. Especially, it's a lot of Florida-based theme things. So check it out, guys. Again, always thank you for your time, and go Bucks.